So having created ourselves a resource pool, that is a Microsoft project file with just resources listed, so that's all your cost resources, material resources, and work resources, we just need to then attach that resource file to our master, and then we can make use of those resources in our master project and in all the sub-projects within that master project. In order to do this, we have to have firstly the resource pool open. So I've got resourcepool.mpp file open, and we need to make sure we have open the master file. So I have Master Bedrooms Project 2014 resourceless, because it's currently resourceless. And if we expand and look at our tasks, we have no resources attached. And if we look at the resource sheet, there are no resources listed here. What we now need to do is effectively use the pool of resources. And we do that by going to the resource ribbon, resource pool, and in the little drop down, we choose share resources. Now, it's made an assumption that we wish to use the resources from My Bedroom 2014 B, which is not the correct file. So let's click onto Use Resources, and from the drop down, choose the correct file. So be careful when you have multiple files open that it's not picking the wrong file to use as the resource pool. So resourcepool.mpp is now where I will get my resources from. If there is a conflict with the calendar or resource information, the pool takes precedence or the sharer takes precedence. Well, the sharer is our master file, so we're going to say the pool takes precedence. OK. And all of a sudden, into the resource sheet for our master file appears all the resources that are actually not in here. We're just sharing them. They're actually in the resource pool. Now, one way of spotting that they are shared, rather than going back to resource pool, share resources and having a look, is actually to add another column to here. So if I right click any current column, insert column, and what I'm looking for is the project name, project, and you can see it puts the name of the project file that these resources belong to. And we can see that they're all in the resource pool. Now that I've shared them, first thing I ought to do is save. And that'll ask me if I want to save the changes to all the sub-projects. So I'm going to say yes. We'll actually find when you click the resource names that the resource names are still not available. Now they're not available to the sub-projects, but if we were to create a new task in the main project, in the master project, let's call it planning meeting. After all, we have 3 bedrooms to do. It's going to take 4 hours. And we want to auto schedule it so it fits in with the project. When we go to the resource names, now we see all the resources. So we actually need to share our resource pool with each of the sub-projects in turn. In order to do that, we need to open those sub-projects. So let's firstly move to one of the sub-projects, which is Joe's Bedroom 2014 _B, because we're actually using a copy for this particular exercise. And we go to the resources, resource pool, share resources, pick the resources up from the resource pool. OK. Save. My Bedroom 2014 _B, resource pool, share resources from the resource pool. OK. Save. My Spare Bedroom 2014 _B, resource pool, share resources from the resource pool. OK. Save. Now in each of these files, and we'll look at the Spare Bedroom one, on the resource sheet, we will see the resources. And these are the shared ones, because if we add in that same column that we did before, which is the project name, project, we see resource pool. So let's save and close Spare Bedroom and Joe's Bedroom and My Bedroom. All of those files are _B. They're different sub-project files for this particular exercise. And what we'll now find, because we've shared the resource pool with all of those sub-projects and with the master file, that we can not only assign resources to tasks within the master file, so that's going to be me, isn't it, and the decorator, but also within the sub-projects. So move out the old furniture will be me. In fact, it'll be me all the way down there, so we can drag that down, just as we've done previously. So we can go through all 3 of the sub-projects and assign resources as we see fit, using any of the methods we used previously, such as the little option here, or in the task information. See exactly the same choices, or in the assign resources floating dialog box, which we access from the resource ribbon, assign resources. The plaster the walls is going to be me. Just one of me. Assign. Paint the woodwork. Going to be the paint app. I have 4 paintbrushes. No joinery bits. 4 paintbrushes. This is the slightly annoying thing about this box, is that as soon as you've assigned something, it jumps to the top because it wants to think that you need the things you've selected near the top. But because it jumps to the top, the thing you wanted is then not in the same place it was. Paint. Let's have 4 gallons. Good thing about the assign resources is that you can see the items you want because they are at the top, and their cost as well. So we can use any of the methods we've used before to assign those resources, but we're now borrowing or using those resources from a shared pool. So that's a single file with all those resources in, but we're assigning them across projects using our master file as the way of accessing all 3 projects and assigning those tasks to the particular resources we want, be those work resources, cost resources, or material resources.